Genesis chapter 2 verse 19, that the names that Adam called the animals, that was the name that was. That is because in the charter of heaven, all the animals before they were created were already named. But there was something about the unfallen man. He could tap into the frequency of heaven, and he knows what God did. Even when God slew him and he was asleep, and God created the woman, the name God called the woman was woman. The guy woke up and said, you shall be called woman, because he operated as a frequency. But what the fall does is that the fall brings you down from the realm of God. But he said, they that wait upon the Lord, they begin to mount up with wings. They begin to mount up with wings like the eagles. They run, they are not weary. They walk, they don't faint. What happens is that the immortal dimensions of God begins to enter their chambers. That's when a stammerer can come and speak and the night turns red. The stammerer can come and speak and quails fill the land. The stammerer can show up and say, have no respect unto their prayers. If I be a man of God, a land will open and swallow you up, and even God in heaven will obey the voice of a stammerer. Why? Because there's a download. Joshua shows up and he said, let the sun stand upon the mountains of Ajalo, let the moon retain upon the valleys of Gibeon. And he said the sun did not make haste to go down. In the day that God hearkened to the voice of a man, he said that day have never existed and it will never be. Why? Because a man mastered the intelligence of download. You can walk into that place as a vulnerable man. When you show up, the Bible will say, it said Moses wished not that his face shone like the sun, because he had stayed in the presence for long. And the Moses that came out is a God. That guy is no longer a mortal. There is something that happens. His weaknesses are swallowed up because he has stayed in the presence. When he walks among men, he's a God. You can see him, but his tendencies are like the immortal spirits of Zion. Why? The intelligence of download. There is something that happens to you, and you can walk through the terrorists and they will drop their guns. They will not know what is going on. It's called download. David said, by the hand of God I ran through a troop. By God I leaped over a wall. That's not a man, that's a downloaded version of God. He has become like the invisible God that is in the spirit, and he taught the same thing to his warriors. The Bible said Adoni the Ezrahite, once upon a time he fell upon the sword and he slew 800 men. That's not a man.